Notice of public hearing. Please take notice that an application has been made by John and Barb Haverty, 708 East Main Street, Caledonia, Minnesota, 55921 for conditional use permit to build a dwelling on less than 40 acres in an agricultural district in Crooked Creek Township on the following premises to wit: part of the southwest quarter, the southeast quarter of the southeast quarter of the southeast quarter of Section 33, Township 102 North, Range 4 West, Crooked Creek Township, Houston County, Minnesota. Said applicant standing and making an application as a holder and owner of an enforceable option to purchase full interest in said described land. A hearing on this application will be held at the Houston County Justice Center, basement, City of Caledonia, Minnesota, 55921 at 7 p.m. on Thursday, October 22nd, 2015. All persons having an interest in the matter will be given the opportunity to be heard relative to the granting or denying of said application. Houston County Planning Commission by Rick Frank Zoning Administration, advertised October 7, 2015. Okay, I think you had the aerial photos in your maps. The Havertys have an option to purchase the property. This is an old abandoned building site with an old well, septic system. The well is good, it's been tested. The house is going to be torn down and a new one going to be put up. There's a cartway that runs on the full front of that property. It's checked out with the township, and that they have the adequate road frontage to meet the requirements. The soil types, I was down there with the contractor. We did the borings for the septic systems, and the design work for that and all that is done for that to go in. The erosion plans have been developed and they have been looked at, and I've been out there with the soil conservation and they've been assigned and approved. I have heard to date of nothing as far as any complaints on the, or concerns on the conditional use by the Havertys.
Okay, John?
Yes,
got anything else to add?
No, we're just hoping we've done everything correctly. We've been through every process we could think of, had some counsel with Mr. Frank, and we believe we have all of our ducks in a row and everything approved that we need to approve this time.
Any questions from the planning members?
Yeah, I do. What's a cartway versus a public road?
Cartway is public township road is actually a 66-foot wide. This is only a 33-foot wide cartway. It's a dead-end road. It stops, about a quarter of a mile before this place. The township stops. This was the only resident in the back there. There is some property in back of theirs yet too that need access. So it's just what it is a dead-end road, but it's instead of a full township road, it's just a cartway.
But it is township maintained?
Dedicated, yes.
Okay, all right, good.
I did check with the township on that too. I talked to them about that.
So they maintain it all the way or just part one?
All the way until the end of past this place a little bit, and that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, the Simplot will go just past our, basically that's our driveway. Okay, that'll terminate there.
Do you have several landowners that are around you, or is that all one landowner? Just one landowner? Just one landowner. Okay. Any other questions?
We're going to try to get this slating going yet this fall, or?
No, we've contracted Nick King to build the property. We're going to start in the spring. He's currently building one over off of Sunset or whatever it is over that way.
Precondition right now.
Yeah, so whenever everybody's done with that, first thing in the spring, hopefully it's a nice El Nino winter, we get started early and get rolling, but we definitely want to get things underway.
Nice location. Good scenery. Good scenery.
The landowner is Edna, and Faith Beneke is her daughter, Edna Ilsheimer.
Okay, any other questions? All right, does anyone here have any comments on this application? Okay, if not, Rick, If there are no more questions, I'll have you read the findings.
Criteria for granting conditional use permits. The Planning Commission shall not recommend a conditional use permit unless they find the following findings of fact. Number one, does the proposed use conform with the county land use plan? Number two, does the applicant demonstrate a need for the proposed use? Number three, will the proposed use degrade the water quality of the county? Number four, will the proposed use adversely increase the quantity of water runoff? Number five, are the soil conditions adequate to accommodate the proposed use? Number six, have potential pollution hazards been addressed and have standards been met? 7, are adequate utilities, access roads, drainage, and other necessary facilities being provided? Number 8, are adequate measures being taken to provide sufficient off-street parking and loading space to serve the proposed use? Number 9, are all facilities being provided to eliminate any traffic congestion or traffic hazards which may result from the proposed use? Number 10, will the conditional use be injurious to the use and enjoyment of other property in the immediate vicinity for the purposes already permitted? 11, does the establishment of the conditional use impede the normal and orderly development and improvement of surrounding vacant property for predominant uses in the area? 12, are adequate measures being taken to prevent or control offensive odor, fumes, dust, noise, and vibrations so that none of these will constitute a nuisance, and to control lighted signs and other lights in such a manner that no disturbance to neighboring properties will result? 13, is the density of the proposed residential development greater than the density of the surrounding neighborhood or greater than the density indicated by the applicable zoning district? 14, is the intensity of the proposed commercial or industrial development greater than the intensity of the surrounding uses or greater than the intensity characteristic of the applicable zoning district? And 15, are site-specific conditions and such other conditions established as required for the protections of the public's health, safety, morals, and general welfare?
Okay, not all of these apply, of course, but the ones that do, has anybody got any questions about it?
I know specifically about that, but what is this, how is this zone?
This is zoned agricultural.
And it's
It's the first sell-off in that 40.
And you're not within all setbacks, no feedlots.
Right.
We supposed to fill out the findings of fact? I don't see
Well, you approved the findings that you did.
that. Yeah, all right, here's the findings. That's what I'm supposed to mark.
I thought we'd go through the findings. The findings are approved as...
Okay, so if there's no more questions, no more comments, I entertain a motion on the matter. Or if you have, first of all, nobody has any questions on the findings? All right, I entertain a motion one way or the other.
I'll make a motion to recommend acceptance of the conditional use permit.
Okay, we have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by, Larry made the motion, seconded by Terry. Okay, is there any discussion on the motion? Okay, all those in favor?
I think it should be all state local.
Yes. Yeah.
You'd have to talk to Larry.
Yeah.
What's that?
Should follow all state, local, and...
Oh,
Can you make
yes,
motions?
yes. I will modify my motion to recommend passage of it as long as they follow all state, local, and federal requirements.
Got that, Julie? Okay,
And I'll second.
still seconded by Terry. Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you, gentlemen.
This will go to the county board in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
And I'll take that in there and be part of their agenda items. They'll go through all the conditional use and what we do tonight.
Okay, fantastic. Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question. With certificate of survey with it, they don't need a plot for this. It's just a survey.
Yes, right. That's,
Okay, thank you. got a new building up there, and it's a nice place. I've been up there when I was young.
So we spend a lot of time up there just going in for sunsets and sunrises and, things like that. It's pretty wonderful.
Our next public hearing is at 7:15. We'll wait just a couple minutes. Start the next one. Yeah, we could take a look. Take a look at the zoning permits. Anybody's got a question on the zoning permits?
Notice of public hearing, please take notice that an application is made by John Justin, 8509, County 18, Oka, Minnesota, for an interim use permit for a non-commercial family cabin in an agricultural district in Brownsville Township on following premises to wit, the south half of the northeast quarter of Section 16, Township 103, north 4 west of Houston County, Minnesota. Said applicant standing and making an application is the owner of said described lands. The hearing of this application will be held at the Houston County Justice Center basement, City of Caledonia, Minnesota, 55921 at 7:15 p.m. on Thursday, October 22nd, 2015. All persons having an interest in the matter will be given the opportunity to be heard relative to the granting or denying of said application. Houston County Planning Commission by Rick Frank, Zoning Administration, advertised October 7, 2015. Okay, Mr. Justin is applying for an interim use permit here to build a non-commercial family cabin in an ag district. There's no other cabin in this district. He plans to use it just for his personal family usage, and the cabin is not to be leased out. The Brownsville Town Board and joining property owners were notified. I have heard no inquiries yet in regard to the application.
Okay, John, you have anything to add?
I don't know what I could add, it's just,
Okay.
it's just a long time goal is to, build a cabin for the family.
Yeah. This is your farmstead here in this picture here? What is this picture?
Yeah.
It says Brownsville.
Yeah,
It's in Brownsville Township.
Brownsville Township, yes.
Brownsville Township. Okay, so it's just back up on your land further back?
Yeah, when I was talking to Mr. Frank, we kind of circled an area where it was going to be, and I don't know if that's got passed along or not, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about where you're going to go.
yeah, right in there.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was that big tree there.
That big tree, yeah, by that big cottonwood tree?
Okay. Are you running electricity and plumbing up there or not?
No.
Okay,
It's
plumbing.
just going to be a primitive cabin.
Okay. Any questions, planning commission members?
How big is it going to be? I guess the 600 square foot requirement.
400.
Or 400? Okay, I don't know where I got the 600, but
Maximum,
Pardon?
maximum of 400.
Yeah.
yeah, whatever the zoning permits.
And how is it on skids, is it on poles, or what kind of construction?
It's going to be, I tore down an old barn that had some log rafters. So I'm going to use those log rafters and convert them into log sidewalls. And whatever you want me to put it on, or
What do you put on it? Okay.
Skids.
Okay.
Should be on skids.
so it could be on the skids.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the way I'll build it. It'll be on skids, but can a person lay something there so that the ground stays flat and the skids don't sink into the ground? Or?
Oh, sure. But I think on non-commercial family cabins, I mean, they could be posting it, could be that. Because that cabin, this permit will be given to you,
Yeah.
and it'll be to you only, and it'll be as good as long as you're there.
Mhm.
So, on our other,
I have to look at the plan.
because we've approved a number of non-commercial family cabins that are pretty permanent foundation, but it's just to you, you know. And you'd have to deal with it when you, or if you sell it to someone, the property, somebody else is going to have to come in and get a permit. This permit will be just to you.
So, if this this permit is just for my family, as long as the family owns this property,
Is the property, it's in your name, your wife's name, or
right,
your name now?
my wife and myself.
Yeah.
And I guess we kind of anticipated, we got 2 daughters and some grandkids, and hopefully like to just see the property passed on to them, but
How do we do that? Normally we do it to a family trust or something that's already set up. If it's not set up, we just do it to you.
if it's set up just to me, and then what would happen if we got the family trust thing?
Then just,
Which is kind of handy, yeah.
okay.
I'm sorry, what?
It'll just go, it'll follow the family.
Come back in again?
That or you would, yeah.
I think you might have to come back in because these interim permits are given to just the applicant.
I understand, okay.
Ed, can I see your ordinance, Russ?
I guess it gets down to what can I build it on then? Or, because I think somebody said that it could be on,
Yeah, let's just see what it says.
Okay.
I don't have that memorized exactly, but I know that we have approved non-commercial family cabins that are on pretty solid footings.
mm-hmm,
But they were approved with, they had a family living trust set up. And so it probably is going to go on now for 40, 50 years because they have a living trust set up.
mm-hmm.
So rather than have them put them on skids, they put them on foundations for the duration of the 40, 50 years. But once that family trust ended, then the permit ends. And at that point,
Right.
someone,
So I guess what I'm kind of going to inquire about then is I could put it on a foundation as long as I'm living, or I mean, as long as I'm alive. Or my wife.
as long as it's yours, you and your wife.
Okay, that's
See,
good with
it
me.
says, under Minnesota statutes, it says, Houston County may approve interim use permits if the use conforms to the zoning regulations, which it does. The date or event that will terminate the use can be identified with certainty. Permission of the use will not impose additional cost on the public. It is necessary for the public to take the property in the future. And the user agrees to any conditions that Houston County deems appropriate for permission of the use. Any interim may be terminated by a change in zoning regulations. So it would solely go to you.
What does it say about a cabin? Does that need to be or movable?
No, I mean,
Well, cabins were under cups before. Yeah, and they're real strict.
I gotta look at that. Where it is.
But even if it was on a footing and the sill plate was bolted to the footing, it still could be
Yeah, it doesn't.
cut
that
off.
doesn't-
It's pretty small, I mean, 400 square foot is pretty movable.
It'd be easier if it was on a footing, if you had to move it.
It'd be better if it was up on something either
Yeah.
slant or otherwise what you got on the ground is going to.
Right.
Yeah, especially if you're reusing them
Mildew and
timbers.
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's just going to be, I know, I don't know, I'm not really that familiar with that valley, but I think she used to be a prom town or something, and I seen in the paper 5, 6, 7 years ago where she moved the cabin, I think, where she grew up on,
Yeah.
and I went up and looked at it, and that's kind of like the cabin I wanted to, it's just a small little cabin. And these days, like with a forklift or whatever, you can almost move that.
Is that a camel bell?
I think that's where it is, yeah. You seen it?
Yeah.
It's cute, or neat.
Yeah, small.
Yeah.
Well, I know that we have approved non-commercial family cabins that have foundations, so I think you're good to go there.
Well, I appreciate that, or,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's just that you can't rent this thing out. It's just strictly to you, and it only goes to you, and it terminates when you and your wife no longer have title of that property.
I'm kind of building a cabin so I can stay away from people. I don't want to rent. You know, invite people. I don't care how much they pay me.
All right. Does anyone here have any comments on this application? Yes?
Bruce Chemical from Caledonia. So, the question was, can he get his interim permit under his and his wife's name now, but roll it into a trust if they set it up later on?
No, I would say he needs to come back and get another permit. When it changes ownership, we have to identify when this thing is going to end. And it's going to end when you leave the property, when you transfer the title of the property.
Well, I'm not going to leave until I go
Okay?
boots in the ground.
So, this permit will go to you, and it'll be you and your wife until you're both there. But when the property transfers to someone else or to a trust or something, they'll need to get another.
Okay, I guess then the question is,
It's listed on the interim use permit.
if my daughters take over the property after we can't live there anymore or we're gone, so they would come up if they wanted a cabin or if they got the property and just apply for the same type of thing.
This might
I
have some.
I would guess in the future, if you would decide to, with your property, go to a family trust, and you came back in and that it could be probably directed to the trust, maybe possibly.
Well, let me read
All right.
it says non-commercial family cabins. This is under interim uses in an ag district. These cabins are designed and constructed as short-term living quarters for one or more persons and are not to be used as a permanent dwelling. Such cabins shall not be leased, rented, bartered, or sold to a third party and shall only be used by the person or entity listed on the interim use permit and their family.
Okay.
So it kind of locks in
If it
my
went to
daughters.
his family, it would still
Alright.
be part of the deal. Go ahead.
Yeah, maybe we should list your daughters on there with you then, so they're listed on there.
That sounds good.
All right. But then what about the end of it? It's supposed to be a termination date.
Yeah, there's no end.
When the family, the daughters probably would cease or
When the
And
property
here-
is transferred out of your family name.
Out of the family name. Well, actually, it'd be out of the family name anyway because I don't have boys, so they got, I mean,
Well, your daughters.
blood.
Okay.
Blood relatives, yeah. We can probably do that.
okay, thank you.
Okay, anyone else have any questions? Anybody on the planning commission have any questions? Okay, Rick, read the findings, criteria. Here's
Findings of fact.
the criteria.
Criteria for granting interim use permits. The Planning Commission shall not recommend an interim use permit unless they find the following findings of fact. 1, does the proposed use conform with the county land use plan? 2, does the applicant demonstrate a need for proposed use? 3, will the proposed use degrade the water quality of the county? 4, will the proposed use adversely increase the quantity of water runoff? 5, are the soil conditions adequate to accommodate the proposed use? 6, have potential pollution hazards been addressed and have standards been met? 7, are adequate utilities, access roads, drainage, and other necessary facilities being provided? 8, are adequate measures being taken to provide sufficient off-street parking and loading space to serve the proposed use? 9, are facilities being provided to eliminate any traffic congestion or traffic hazards which may result from the proposed use? 10, will the interim use be injurious to the use and enjoyment of other property in the immediate vicinity where the purpose is already permitted? 11, does the establishment of the interim use impede the normal and orderly development and improvement of surrounding vacant property for dominant uses in the area. 12, are adequate measures being taken to prevent or control offensive odor, fumes, dust, noise, and vibrations, so that none of these will constitute a nuisance, as to control lighted signs and other light in such a manner that no disturbance to neighboring properties will result. 13 is the density of the proposed residential development greater than the density of the surrounding neighborhood or greater than the density indicated by the applicable zoning district. 14 is the intensity of the proposed commercial or industrial development greater than the intensity of the surrounding use or greater than the intensity characteristic of the applicable zoning district. 15 are site-specific conditions and such other conditions established as required for the protections of the public's health, safety, morals, and general welfare.
Okay, any questions on the criteria? Fine. All right. Any comments from anyone else? I guess we've already had that. All right, regarding this interim use permit though, I think we could make the motion, like what we said, that this can go to you and to your
Daughters.
Yeah.
I won't have to worry about it after that.
Okay, all right. Now, would he be permitted someday to run electricity and water there?
Not the way.
Okay, so you understand you can go no electricity, no water?
I want to be primitive.
Okay. Okay. All right, we have a motion to that effect then, right? Either approve or deny this.
I'd make a motion to approve the permit as stated to hear blood relatives until that ceases. And respond to the following all ordinances.
Both blood relatives, you want the daughters? We talked about the daughters.
Okay, let's make daughter sound
Direct
like
family.
Yeah.
The direct family, yeah. Direct family.
I'll second that.
All right. Seconded by Rick. All right, so the motion, Dave recommended we recommend this for approval, and that we no electricity, no water to it,
Right.
and that it could be put on a permanent foundation if that's what you
That's
want.
going to help, yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, and then we'll need the names of your two daughters. Julie will have to get those names.
Yeah, my wife can, she probably knows the spelling.
Okay, so that,
They married some big
those
last
names-
names.
we'll get those names on in the minutes and get them on the
Okay.
application. All right, everybody understand that? Any questions? All right, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And it'll be primitive and just
Okay,
like we talked.
all right, very good.
All right.
Thanks, John.
Okay, thank you. And well, she's going to put those names on the paper.
And give it to Julie then.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Okay, we'll approve the minutes. Approve the minutes here. Everybody get a chance to take a look at them. First, we got the minutes for the July 23rd meeting.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of July 23rd.
Motion to
Approve the minutes of July 23rd.
Okay, motion is made to approve the minutes from the July 23rd meeting. Is there any,
I'll second that.
seconded by Terry. Any discussion on the motion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, the August 27th meetings. Everybody get a chance to look at them?
I'll make a motion to approve the August 27th minutes.
I'll second it.
Seconded by Larry. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, the September 29th minutes. Any questions or comments on those?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Right, motion made by Terry to approve the minutes for September 29th. Is there a second to that?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Ed. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Okay, under other business, we talk about our meetings coming up. Our November meeting is November 19th, and then our December meeting will be December 17th. So make sure you get that marked down. We have Arlen,
From final plat. I've had all the offices, county offices approve that. Everything from the highway engineer to the recorders, treasurers, surveys office, and everything was okay to proceed for the final Mylar to be made. And what you got there is a copy of the final plat. All the signatures have been brought or looked at, and all the description has been approved, the survey, so it's ready for him to make the final plat.
any questions? This final plat. Okay, if there are no questions, entertain a motion to approve split.
I'll make a motion to approve final plat.
I'll sign that.
Motion made by Rick and seconded by Glenn. Is there any other discussion on this? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, and finally, under other business, we got the Jerry Mine site that's coming up. Go ahead.
What I'm wondering with the planning commission, I've got a application for a conditional use for a mining and extraction permit. It's on the mine is on Geary Road, or on Camp Road, excuse me. What I'm wondering, or want to run before the planning commission, is if it would be a possibility, we can do it one of two ways. One, I would like to entertain that we may have a chance to go look at it prior to the public hearing, and I'd public notice that we can maybe meet on site, maybe an hour or a couple hours, hour and a half prior to the public hearing that evening. It'd give you a chance as a planning commission to see how it lies and where it's at, and you can take a look at the application. That'll be sent in the mail also, the whole application to you. Or what I would, the second choice I think I'd have, and last choice, is if, if you can't, we can't meet at site before that, whether maybe a couple of yous at a time, we could go out and take a look at it. I do have permission from the juries to take a look at it prior to the meeting so that you become familiar with the site and know how it's laying and the surrounding area of the application.
Okay, well, I think it'd be good if we all went out there before the public hearing, so we know exactly what we're talking about, what we're looking at. So I would like to set it up on the afternoon of the 19th. Our meeting is on the 19th?
Yeah, it'd be at, what time, I think it's, I don't know if we got one or we got two hearings that night. So it'll be our hearing will be at 7:15, right, or 7 o'clock.
But anyway, I think that we could probably go out there around 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
We got
Does
time,
it-
we got time change here too.
I know we got time change, so we gotta get out there before dark. Look around.
3 o'clock.
So I would say 3 o'clock, we'll go out there. We'll meet out there and look around the site and see what's involved.
Yeah. I'll advertise it in the advertising that the planning commission will be meeting on the site at 3, and then to come back in at, that time at 7 o'clock or whatever to.
Okay, is that okay with everybody? So we'll
Is
just
that
do,
right back of their property, or is it a different location?
Yeah.
Well, this was one of those non-registered, non-conforming mines.
Oh, okay, so
And
it
it
was
was on-
kind of an existing type.
Yeah,
line,
it was
right?
on the books, and what they did is they bought the property from Solons. And what they want to do is convert it into a rock quarry, is what it is.
We need directions to get that.
okay. It's on-
Well, we can meet here and go out if you want.
Yeah. Okay,
Is it on Highway
Gap Road, if you're going towards Spring Grove, you go past the rail, or the airport, don't take 76, but go to the next road on your right. It's a township road.
Pass Handle here.
Yeah, if you go over Handle Dairy is,
Yep.
it's past there. Just keep right on that road, don't turn, just stay right on it. It's Rock Road. Probably about, what do you think, Dana, maybe 3-4 miles there?
From where?
From,
It's all 4 miles. It's almost.
yeah,
The best way to get there is go down 4 and turn.
depends on which way you want to go,
It
yeah.
wouldn't be all that gravel. Go on, it says Gap Road.
Yeah.
You turn, you go down about 1.5 miles, and there's a quarter.
Yeah,
Right off that blacktop.
right.
So you go to Spring Road, turn to the cemetery.
Go to
go
down
towards
to
Blackhammer.
Well, for those that want, maybe want to ride, let me know.
And then you get up to about 2 miles and on the Gap Road, take
Yep.
right.
Okay.
And then you stay on that gravel road.
Is there a fire, is there a fire number for this too, or?
I don't think so yet.
Okay. All right.
There might be, I could
Yeah,
check.
it'd be a lot quicker to go on.
Be a good idea to look at it, get an idea. Is it in their name now?
Yes,
So you look it up on Beacon?
good.
Okay, we'll do that at 3 o'clock.
Thank
Okay, you got a question?
Yes, I do have a question. Rick, I think I just heard you say it was on the list of non-conforming mines.
Yes,
Then why are they coming in for a CUP?
they want to open it
But
to a
if,
mining operation.
but if they're on the non-conforming mine list, couldn't they just go ahead and mine without a CUP?
They would rather go through it, get their permit for the whole mining rate, for the operation and everything. That's what they want to do.
Was that mine being used recently?
It hasn't been used.
Okay. So that's the reason they're coming for a CUP, because it hasn't had continuous use?
Right.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
You got the map?
Okay. All right, any other business? Entertain a motion for adjournment?
I'll make a motion we adjourn.
Okay.
What's up with that?
Made by Larry, second by Rick, adjourned. All those in favor, second by saying aye.
Yeah.